Hello, people. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. And I just realized I didn't even turn on my backlight, so I'm just sitting here in the darkness, like as if I'm Batman or something. But welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream. Listen, at the end of the day, when you're playing on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, plenty of content. Yeah, it's great. We love to see it. We love the fact that we're playing on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays. Yeah. So what are you playing on Thursdays? My Thursdays are wide open. I can go see friends. Yeah, I can go do things on a Thursday. It's wide open for me. Now today, my people, today we are going to be talking about the game against Sevilla. The game against Sevilla tomorrow, important game. Given the circumstances we're in at the moment, the loss to Lens. Listen, this is an important game, especially away from home, especially. So, listen, we will be getting into it. But, firstly, I am going to invite my guest on, the guest of honor. There's none other than the one guy I always want to chat Arsenal with, man. My boy Ashraf is back again. Ashraf, how's it going, my bro?
Back again. Islam Asad. Thank you for having me, man. All good, bro. Big up. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing okay. I'm still not over the draw to Chelsea, but we have to move on. We have to move on, you know. At the end of the day, it is what it is, man. It was just a loss.
And what better time to move on than a game against Sevilla in the Champions League?
Yay, mate. Just seeing them seeing the way that they played, seeing the way Sergio Ramos played in that game against the Real Madrid is just, that's not what I want to see, man. That's not what I want to see. He was actually so good in that game, but listen, we're gonna get into it, man. But firstly, guys, I just want to make sure you're smashing the like button, you're smashing the subscribe button. We just hit 500 subscribers, so I would like to thank every single person, people that are watching live right now, and people watching on the replay. Thank you very much. You made it. We made it. We hit 500 subscribers. Road to 1k is here. We're on our way to 1k, so thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for liking the videos, and make sure you're hitting that bell notification so you're notified every time I make a video, I go live, anything on the channel. You'll know about it if you hit that notification bell. Now, let's get into important things such as the game tomorrow. Now, Sharaf, give me your thoughts on going into this game, because it is quite a scary fixture, man. I can't lie.
Yeah, man. Look, it's. I think that defeat to Lens made it a lot worse. I think if we won against Lens, we probably would have come into this game a lot more confident and a lot less worried about us dropping points. Because the reality of the matter is, like, you lose tomorrow, and your perfect start against PSV suddenly doesn't look like it's heading the same way, right? Like we would have gone from the favorites to top the group. To looking a bit dodgy and wondering if are we even going to qualify. Now, I don't see any scenario where we don't qualify from this group, but obviously, like if we go away to PSV and away to Sevilla and we underestimate these teams, it's going to come to bite us in the ass. People say that, oh, Sevilla has not been that great this season. They look at their form in the league. They're like 14th or whatever, like 9 games, I think just 2 wins. Look, it doesn't matter. When it comes to the Champions League, these teams show up. I know they're a Europa League team mainly. A lot of times they go down and they go and win the Europa League. Hopefully that's what happens this season as well. But we have to make sure we're going there like a lot more turned on mentally than we were against Chelsea. A lot more focused. Arteta has to pick the best lineup that we have available. And yeah, look, our record away from home against the Spanish teams usually isn't that great. And Sevilla and with their fans and their ground, they know how to make it hostile for like teams that are coming to their ground, right? They know how to make it difficult. They know how to make you really like feel like you're playing against 12 men. So we have to be prepared for that. Like Arteta knowing this should go to that game thinking, yo, this is like Liverpool at Anfield, this is like City at Etihad, and we should go with that kind of mentality. And if we do, I think our quality hopefully should show.
You know, I think for me, coming into this game after the Chelsea draw, I'm looking at it from Arteta's point of view. He has to go into it with a strong squad. He has to. There's no other choice. The
Yeah.
only thing that's keeping me hopeful and the only thing that's keeping me positive right now is the fact that I know for damn sure that one person's going to be on that pitch, and it's Thomas Partey. I know that for
Hopefully.
damn sure because there's no
Yeah.
way he did not even make an appearance against Chelsea for him to go and get benched for this game. There's no way. If that happens, then something needs to be said. Something needs to be said to Arteta. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know why Partey is a bench warmer now. But getting into this game, I do think that although Sevilla are named as a Europa League team, they're still very dangerous. We saw, I think, was it last year or the year before? I think it was the year before where they got to the quarterfinals, I believe it was, or the semis.
Of the Champions League? I
Yeah,
think it was the quarterfinals, yeah, and then they got knocked
quarterfinals.
out. Yeah.
Listen, we know these guys can pull it out in the Champions League. They've shown it before. El Nasiri, listen. If you know El Nasiri, I watched him. I watched him for Sevilla many times. I watched him for playing for Maghreb. Bro, this guy, listen. When he jumps, bro. He's gonna go above every centre back. Every centre back. This guy's got a leap on him, bro. It's crazy. I think he's one of the players that's really scaring me in their team. Um, the only good thing is if it get a penalty, they haven't got Bono anymore because that guy is just crazy with saving pens. He's just crazy with saving pens for some weird reason. He does the Martinez tactic where he just goes and speaks to them, man. I big up Geordie in the building. Big up yourself, my broski. Away the lads. Hey, listen, man.
Newcastle are flying
Geordie,
now.
bro. Geordie knows about this, man. Geordie knows about these ones, Champions League nights. You know what I mean? He knows about this, man. He knows about this. This guy was the same guy that topped down PSG, bro. Left them in the mud. They didn't know what they were coming to expect at St James's Park. But now big up yourself, Geordie. But I feel like just for me, I'm looking at it. This is a must-win game for me. We have to now show our mentality away from home. We have to be like, okay, Lons, that was a one-time thing. That was a mistake. It happened. We have to move on now. But this game, we have to show, yeah, we've got the mentality to go away from home in the Europe Champions League and win a game away from home. I'm at the end of the day, the least we should come out of there with is a draw, just so we can at least salvage a point. But a win, we have to get that. We have to get a win for me anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look, for me,
we'll
the thing is, given what happened at Lens, I think even a draw would be like bad for us because I don't want there to be any scenario where we don't top the group, right? Because we have a very, very good opportunity to reach the quarterfinals. If we top the group, and let's say presumably Madrid top their group, I know PSG lost to Newcastle, but most likely they'll probably top their group as well. If that happens, I think any team we face in the round of 16, I would say, without sounding arrogant or cocky, I would say I'm confident we can beat that team, right? Because I think if somehow Madrid finish second to Napoli, that's a team that probably would knock us out, right? Most likely if we go head to head with them. If PSG finish second, I think it could be tricky as well. So we are put in such a position now, because a lot of times we are in these groups where we have one major giant with us. And before they did the draw, I was like, man, just don't give us these Bayerns or Barcelonas or someone like, give us a group that we can top. And when I saw the group, I'm not going to lie to you, like I was rubbing my hands and licking my lips and thinking, yo, this is a group we definitely can top. That doesn't mean I think it was easy, because there's no such thing as an easy game or easy group in the Champions League, obviously. But once that defeat to Lens happened, in my head, I was like, yo, we have to go away against Sevilla and win that game. Right? And the thing is, we are playing Sevilla twice in a row, right? So we're playing away and then we're facing them immediately at home. I think that win against them away from home will also hopefully like give us that confidence and dictate our next game as well, because I don't think they won either of their first two games. They bottled the last game against PSV when they were winning in the 95th minute. PSV came back. And I could be wrong, but I think the first game against Lens was a draw as well. I'll have to double check that, but I think they drew that first game as well.
I
So
think it was
if
1-1.
yeah, so if we beat them, I think their confidence will be really shattered for that game coming in the Emirates. Obviously, they're not going to give up; they're still going to try. But at home, I definitely back us to win against any team or most teams out there in Europe. So I think we have to win after that Lens defeat.
Yeah, listen, I completely agree. But just getting into the actual team, because funny enough, Geordie here as well said Ramos gonna score an own goal. I saw a funny one that said I saw a funny tweet that came out that said he's a secret Barcelona fan because against Barcelona he scored an own goal, but then against Real Madrid he had a 10 out of 10 performance.
Top game, yeah.
So what players worry you, to be honest, in this fixture coming up
From Sevilla?
Because obviously for me, I said on the series, you know what I mean. So what players worry you, bro?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously, as I said, like you gotta ignore their league form and just go based on the fact that they do have some players that are obviously like dangerous on their day. Ramos, I know he's obviously like not the same as he was 5-6 years ago, but that experience in the Champions League could make a huge difference. They have Boubakary Soumare, who I think is a top midfielder. I know, again, like Sevilla not having the greatest season, but I think he's someone who can really give us a physical battle. Rakitic, again, someone who probably is not at his best days, because I think his best 4-5 years ago, I think he was a world-class midfielder, but I saw him in the Europa League final against Roma last year, and this guy was just bossing that game, and even against United when they knocked them out and they won 3-0. Ocampos, obviously, Ocampos I think is someone who could be a huge trouble. Now look, in the serie, this might shock you as a fellow Moroccan. I actually don't rate him that highly, right? Even when I watched him in the World, I don't really. I've watched him so many times for Morocco, for Sevilla, and the thing is, for me, right? I think if you whip in a lot of crosses in the box, he is incredible at it because he's got an amazing leap. He's very good at directing the ball with his head, like to the right positions. So I think in that kind of side, he's definitely a threat, but in almost every other aspect of the game, I don't think he's got that kind of quality to trouble Saliba and Gabriel. He doesn't have the pace. He's not like you would think. Like a lot of Moroccan strikers, is usually very, very techy. He's not the most techy kind of striker. I've seen him have stinkers in front of goal. I remember that game against City in the Super Cup. Like when they were winning, I think they were 1-0 up. He could have easily put them 2-0 up, like 2-0. Like he missed like two sitters. And the thing is, they didn't fall to his head. They fell to his feet. If they fell to his head, he probably would have somehow guided them in. So I'm not worried about Neseri as much, unless they like go for like a proper crossing game. And they have the players to do it. Like I think Acuna and Navas, who play fullback for them, like
Acuna is wicked.
Acuna is wicked, but then again, see, I've just named another player like Navas, who, in my opinion, is way past his best, right? And when I look at whoever starts on the left for us, whether it's Trossard or Martinelli, we should be running at him. We should be trying to cook someone like Navas and trying to kill them with pace, because I think we have the quality to trouble them. But if these guys go forward and whip in crosses, then yeah, obviously Neseri could be unlocked to his best potential in that game. But I think it'll depend a lot on that midfield battle, bro. Like we have to make sure we contain Soumare, Rakitic, and so. Like, honestly, I don't want to get your opinion on this. Do you prefer a game where we dominate possession and obviously like we try to control the game and they just hit us on the counter, or do you prefer it to be like like a ping pong game where we go like back and forth, or do you think like it's better if they control and we try to hit them on the counter?
For me, I would prefer to go with just a controlled game. I like to have control of the game. We can let them do. We can let them do, because, like you said, listen, El Nasiri, when he's most dangerous is when you're crossing the ball in.
Yeah,
that's when he is most dangerous. When he's at the back post and he's able to get ahead on it, that's when he's most dangerous. If it's on the counter attack and he's trying to run at goal, I can trust. Or I can have trust in Saliba to get
Saliba and Gabriel. Exactly.
Not even just Gabriel. I think Saliba. Because there's been numerous amounts of times this season where Saliba, even a player's running down the right side, he cuts across the right side or from the left and just tackles the player. So there's been countless amounts of times. I think the one player for me that's really this fucking asshole is coming back. Yeah, is Eric Lamela, that fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
That fucking piece of shit, bro. I hate that guy. I fucking hate that guy. After that goal that he scored, I hate him, bro. I can never look at him the same anymore. Yeah. He played for the scumbags and he scored a goal against us. That goal was the
He
thing
could
is the
start
reason
against
why I
us as
hate
well.
it. Exactly, but I think they will start him against us just based on the mental thing. You know what I mean? Because he's ex Spurs, they'll know that anyway. But I think the reason why that goal pissed me off so much, yeah, is because I actually liked it. Like it actually was a techie goal, but I didn't want to admit it. I didn't want to admit
It
it to
was a
myself.
superb
I
goal,
was,
honestly. Thank God we
but
won that game. Thank God.
yeah, of course, of course. But I think for me, I'm just looking into this game and I'm just like, right, this is the time to prove it. This is the time to prove to everybody, like, you know what, we belong here. Yeah, we can go away from we can go away from home and we can win games in European competitions. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
let's face it, this is one of the harder opponents in the
Yeah.
in the group. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, going here and getting a win is massive because then we can go to PSV knowing that we went away to Sevilla and got a win. We can go to PSV and we know like PSV away, they've played there before because we played them in the Europa League. So I know I'm kind of familiar with the game over there. That crowd is fucking loud, but this crowd here for Sevilla is no joke. I've seen certain Sevilla games, bro, in the La Liga when I watch it from time to time, and listen, their crowd is loud. They get to booming, bro. It's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
an echo around there, bro. It's crazy. Everybody's screaming. You know what I mean? They're all in unison with each other. So for me, this is a must-win game. We have to try and get as much as we can out of this game. Like if we can go and pepper them, that would be even more better. If we can go and make them win 3-0 or 4-0, that would be great. But I don't see that happening with an away game
Yeah,
just
me
because
neither.
we're normally, I feel like we're normally reserved in away games. We don't
Yeah,
try to
we are.
show our hand too much, which
Yeah.
which is something. But um yeah. So
Yeah,
basically,
I
no,
agree
no,
with
go
you.
go.
I agree with you. I think, and look, what you said was perfect because I don't think we should try and sit back that game and let them attack and we play on the counter. We shouldn't let it be a ping pong game either, where we're just going back and forth, because I think that could harm us, right? I think if we take control of the game, we need to press them high, win the ball, and try to build slowly. Because as you mentioned, even if they get the ball and counter, I'm not that worried about the counters like from Ocampos running or Lamela because I don't think these guys have the legs to take on our defenders with pace consistently. Um, and the same with like their midfielders as well. Like Rakitic obviously is like not the same midfielder he was a few years ago. So I'm not that worried about their counters. But I think if they try to dictate play, if they press us high and they win and they try to keep possession and we sit back and play on the counter, I think it's going to be a long day for us. Because
Exactly.
even if they just keep whipping these crosses, there's no way they whip in like 10, 15 crosses a game without getting some dangerous ones on target. So we have to make sure we dictate that
But
game and we keep possession.
it's not even that. It's about Rakitic as well. Rakitic can hit a ball. He can hit a
Yeah,
ball from outside the box. So
exactly.
for me, I don't want to risk them shooting at our goal and having
Yeah.
complete control of the game. I just I'm using the Super Cup as a just a parameter to try and really look at what it could look like for us in our game. I know that it wasn't at Sevilla's, was it? That was
No, no, it was a neutral
in a
ground, no?
neutral ground, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it might have been in Paris or something like that. But
maybe.
um, for me, just looking at that game and using that game as a parameter to what we would do. I think if we keep control of the game the same way City did, they got very tired in the second half
Hmm.
because they press a lot. Like they've got a very high press. So they've always got three players pressing on one player. So I feel like that could work to our advantage if we manage to get them pressing us constantly, because
Yeah.
we could then come out and get the ball, pass it around, have them get tired, and then we just play around them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same way we do with other teams. We just play around them once they get tired around the 60th minute. Just a simple game plan. But that's the reason why I want to control the game. I can't have them controlling the game. And even if it's back and forth, an end to end game, I can't have that either.
Yeah.
Just because of the same reason. If they can come over and get a certain moment in the game where they shoot, or where they either shoot or they cross the ball in, and then they find El Nassiri in the right place.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I can't be having that. Otherwise, it's too risky for me, man. It's too risky.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I agree. And by the way, the Super Cup game I just checked, it was in Greece.
Greece.
But yeah, look, when I think there was a time in the City game when City were 1-0 down, and they got so many counters, so many open chances to score the second goal against City in the space of like 20, 30 minutes, and they just couldn't capitalize. And that's why I feel if we control the game and we dictate play, even if we get those counters against us, I think we'll deal with them. But if we end up letting them control the game and we sit back and try to counter, which is annoying because it happened a little bit against Lens. There was a moment there where they were controlling possession and we were sitting back for some portion of the game. So we definitely shouldn't see that happening. And if we win tomorrow, I'm super confident of us stopping the group because I don't see us not winning at home against Sevilla. I don't see us not winning at home against Lens. I think we definitely will win these games. The home crowd will definitely make a big difference, and I think we'll just be too good for them. And that would put us on 12 points. And I think 12 points is enough to top the group, given that the other teams haven't really been beating each other. Like they've been getting draws here and there. So
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, I can't lie. Just obviously reverting back to the Lons game as well. You look at that squad there, and when we started to go a bit quiet, because I felt like the only player that really big up Shah, by the way, just pulled up in the building.
big up
yourself,
Shaw.
man. Big up Shah, bro. Big up Shah. I think for me that game against Lons, Declan Rice, I feel like we need to stop putting him in positions where he's doing, like, for instance, if we revert back to the Chelsea game on Saturday, if you put Declan Rice in a position where he has to do everything, he will literally do everything. He will try to do everything. Hence why we can't be doing that, bro. We can't be putting him in that position. Do you know what I
It'll
mean?
tire him out. Yeah.
He will literally get tired out. So for me, I need to have Partey definitely starting that game, and I think that's a perfect segue actually to talk about the team and who we want to play. But firstly, like I said, big up Shah. He said Sevilla are a villain in Europa, though. I can't lie. Yes, they are. They are a very strong team in the Europa League. Even in Champions League, they done good last time. And then Lukman here again. Big up Lukman, my brother. He said, my guy, Sarah, what you saying for tomorrow, bro? Listen, at the end of the day, we have to see. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say I'm confident. I'm not going to say I'm scared. We have to see, man. We have to see. But guys, listen, make sure you're liking the video, please. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Making sure you're hitting that bell notification so you're notified every time we make a video. And without further ado, shut off. Let's speak about some of the players that could come into the game, because obviously this is where it really tests our squad depth. These games from Saturday to Tuesday. There's only like 3 days.
Yeah.
For them to, and actually really 2 days.
2 days. Yeah.
Because they got to travel. So
Exactly.
there's only really 2 days for them to
It's
train.
2 days including travel because Sunday and Monday. Like Saturday is the game. Sunday and Monday, you're probably traveling Sunday night, and then Monday you're training there. So it's
So let's have it right. Is Trossard starting for you, or would you
Um,
bring one off the bench?
For me, in my lineup, yes, Trossard does start, right? And this isn't like any dig on Martinelli or anything. I love the fact that we have these two players who compete against each other, but then that's exactly what we should be promoting and encouraging competition. Martinelli came off the bench against City, had a big impact, won us the game, obviously. But then against Chelsea, he wasn't at his best, right? Like there's a lot of times when he could have tried to take on Gusto and he didn't. And then when we took him off and Trossard came, Trossard looked much better. Even outside the goal, I think Trossard just looked better in those last 20 minutes or whenever he came on. And for me, right, some people might say this is harsh, but when you have such competition for a position like the left wing between Trossard and Martinelli, and sometimes even as a third option Nelson, because sometimes he's come off on that left side and done some business as a bench player. I think Arteta should be ruthless in these kind of situations and say, hey, yes, it was only one bad game against Chelsea, but because I have good caliber of player on the bench like Trossard, you can't afford to have that one poor game, right? That one poor game, which in the end resulted in a draw. I could have started someone like Trossard and he could have performed better. So if you perform poorly in one game and there's someone like Trossard sitting on the bench, guess what? You're sitting on the bench next game. And the same applies to Trossard too. So Trossard starts this game for me. He has a poor game. He sits on the bench next game. That's how it should be. So for me, definitely 100% Trossard has earned his start on the left wing, and I think he should be ahead of Martinelli for that game.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. And to be honest, I feel like with Trossard, we look back to the Lens game where he was just really wasn't about it in that game, unfortunately. And it was rare to see. It was because I don't expect that kind of performance from him.
Yeah.
Because Trossard for me is, listen, I rate Trossard highly. In our team, I rate him highly. I think he's one of the most clinical players in the team.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In front of goal. Obviously, I know we had the discussion last time. You'd rather Martinelli in front of the goal, but
Oh, yeah.
at the end of the day, I just feel like Trossard is just, bro. He's just the one that I wanted to go for so many years, man. Well, it's not so many years, but so long, bro. So long since he's been at Brighton. I wanted to go in for him, man. So I'm so gassed that he's out of club. But for me, actually, you know what? Let's go into starting lineups because I know this one's going to be a fairly short stream. But let's go into starting lineups for you then. For you, so who would you start?
So for me, in goal, as I mentioned yesterday, I would definitely start Ramsdale. A couple of reasons. One is I think again, if we go based on Arteta's mantra of competition and no one is safe, Raya looked shaky in the last three games. I know we won. No, well, we lost one, we drew one, and we won the other. But for me, just based on that logic, and as I mentioned, keepers like cannot afford one major mistake in a game because that could cost us a game. For me, just based on that, Ramsdale should get ahead. But there's a second reason also why I would start Ramsdale. Ramsdale has admitted this himself, and he said sometimes when he's playing at home, he gets like affected by the crowd because they cheer on him, and he gets that energy and he gets distracted. And obviously, that's not something a keeper should say, nor should it be the case. But away from home in difficult grounds, he's come big many times, right? I remember that game against Liverpool. The Leicester game that we won 2-0 when he pulled off that incredible save. The Liverpool game last season. Last season, we should have lost that game against Liverpool at Anfield. And this guy pulled off 2-3 incredible saves in the last 5 minutes that kept us in the game. And that chance, if you remember, when Martinelli had the ball and he overhit it for Saka, literally the last second of the game, that came from a Ramsdale save. Right, that obviously like initiated our counter. Like, so this guy has played a lot of times away against difficult teams. Tottenham last season that we won 2-0, right? When the fans were cheering him, booing him. Sorry. So I think he does really well in these hostile environments. And again, just based on the last three games, I think Raya has done enough damage to sit on the bench for this game for me. Ben White, Saliba, and Gabriel, the same. I would start all three as well, in the same positions. Left back, I would drop Zinchenko Because again, same logic. Last 3-4 games, I think he's been shaky. His biggest strength, even if you ignore his defensive side, because we know he's not that great defensively, but one of his biggest strengths, and the reason why we sacrifice his defensive weaknesses, is because he's so good on the ball. He initiates our attacks. When he gets into the middle, he helps us control the game. I don't think he's done that well last 3-4 games. Like there are every single game, I remember 2 or 3 incidents where he gives the ball cheaply in the middle of the pitch, or when he tries to get out of danger in our own box and loses the ball there. So even his strengths have not been like that visible this season. And I think Tomiyasu, every single time he's come off the bench, he's done well. I know the Crystal Palace game, obviously, when he started, he was shaky. He had those 2 yellow cards and obviously got sent off. But outside that, I think he's been amazing and he deserves to start. My midfield is the same 3, Partey, Rice, and Odegaard, as we discussed. It's insane if Partey doesn't start tomorrow. I don't give a shit what people say, not fully fit, all that crap. I don't give a shit. He's been on the bench against Chelsea. He didn't play a single minute. You can't give me that excuse of he's not ready. Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Saka at the right wing. I would start Jesus up front, and as we discussed, Trossard ahead of Martinelli. That's my lineup.
I think for my lineup, it's pretty similar. I'd go with Ramsdale in goal. I'd go with Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and put Tomiyasu in left back. I've been screaming out for this for a while. Start him at left back. Let's see how he plays. For the midfield, I would go similar. I would go, or actually the same. I'd go with Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. Because listen, at the end of the day, Odegaard needs Partey. Partey is there to do that job. So does Rice. Rice needs Partey, because if Partey isn't there, then Rice is left to do the defensive work, the progressive work, everything. So he needs Partey there. And I think that midfield would work very well. The defense, as it is anyway, I've been saying this before. I'm like a freaking broken microphone. I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. Tomiyasu is just improving himself going forward. So there's no way we can't bring Tomiyasu in this time. And the front 3 for me, I would go Bukayo Saka. I would play Trossard in the left wing. And
don't say it. I know where you're going with this. Oh my God, I know where you're going with this. The moment you left that position last, I was like, yo, he's gonna say it.
I'm gonna give Nketiah a go in the middle. I'm gonna give him a go.
To be honest, you know what's scary and sadder, sad. Wallahi, I thought you were gonna say Havertz. You said someone worse than Havertz.
Oh, you were gonna say Havertz. Havertz is actually a shout now. You know that you said that actually. Havertz is actually a shout. I might have to change that actually. I might have to change that. You know what? I'm actually gonna change that now. Thank you very much, Ashraf. Thank you very much. Shah's just like no.
Shah, I agree with you, bro.
I said no. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna have to change that actually. I'm putting Kai Havertz up top. I'm putting Kai Havertz up top.
Because why? Explain your logic.
I think out of the games that I've seen Kai Havertz play, he's played the best up top. Anytime he plays up top, he is either assisted, he's had good play, like build-up play and everything like that. He's 1-2s with the players, his 1-2s with Saka, with Odegaard. I feel like he does well. So I feel like we could play him and he could possibly score for us. I think he could possibly score, especially with Saka and Trossard next to him. I feel like obviously we don't know what the situation is with Jesus, whether because he was concussed, man. That guy took one hit on the weekend, man. So obviously now I've changed it. I've changed it. It's not Nketiah anymore. It is
I saved us, Shah. I saved us.
It's Havertz.
Look. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, I prefer Jesus starting, but just because I don't want to contradict myself. Given what I said about Martinelli, and he had a poor game against Chelsea, so based on competition, he should be dropped. you could use that logic for Jesus, because I think Jesus was poor as well against Chelsea. And Havertz has come off the bench in 2 consecutive games against City and against Chelsea, where he's done okay. And he was involved in the goals that we scored. So I don't hate it. I definitely agree with you. I think the best position for Havertz to play for us is up front. He doesn't work in the mid. He definitely won't work as a right winger ahead of in place of Saka. Like if we want to rest Saka in some games. But I don't know, man. Look, the good thing is he has gone away to these kind of grounds like Madrid and
saying.
Atletico Madrid, and he's done well. So I do hear that shout. Yeah, you know what? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I would still
I
prefer
think he's
Jesus,
got-
but I don't think it's a bad shout.
But I'm just looking at it. He's got the Champions League experience. Give Jesus a little break and play him. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we can be free with who we play at the moment, because we got Sheffield on the weekend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not really that much of a scary one
At the
for
Emirates,
us.
yeah.
It's at the Emirates, so we will be fairly comfortable in that game. But for me, I think going with Havertz, give him a chance up top. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can play like how he played against City in that Community Shield, and let's see what he can do. To be honest, that's just my thought process behind it. And hopefully Arteta can pick the right starting 11, because this is going to be crucial. Because this game, listen, it could get techie, man. It could get techie.
Good.
But yeah. Come on, bro.
No, look, I think he's put in such a situation where you have so little possibilities of getting this wrong, because there's no scenario where you don't start Partey, Rice and Odegaard in this game. Like zero, like absolutely zero. If you don't start Partey this game, that means there's clearly something going on, and we're probably looking to offboard him or offload him in Jan, which is annoying, right, to even think about. The front three, he's definitely going to start Saka. I don't mind Martinelli starting. I just think Trossard does deserve to start ahead of him, though. And I do want Jesus to start, but again, I don't mind Kai Havertz starting. And I also want Tomiyasu to start left back, but I don't think it's a disaster if Zinchenko starts. Where I think Arteta could royally screw this up, right, is if he plays Nketiah up front, or if he plays Havertz in the middle, so he does Rice as the 6 and then Havertz is the 8, and then plays Odegaard there. I think if he does one of these two things, which by the way, as scary as these things are, we cannot rule it out. Like, it is a big possibility that he could end up playing these guys. If he does that, I think we're in for a long day, and I honestly don't see us winning that game. I'm being 100% frank. If he starts the lineups we discussed, whether he starts Jesus or Kai Havertz up front, look at the bench we'll have to that game for that game. We'll have Martinelli on the bench. We'll have Zinchenko on the bench who can come and help us control the game. We'll have Smith Rowe. We'll have Jesus on the bench. Like, we have players who can come off the bench and give us control, change the game. Let's say we're winning by 1 or 2 goals. We have Jorginho who can come and help us control the midfield and control the game and defend well. And obviously we could take off Odegaard. So we have options on both sides. But he has to start with the correct lineup. And the correct lineup for me is what we mentioned. And then up front, whether it's Havertz or Jesus, it's fine. As long as it's not Nketiah, I think we'll be good.
No worries. Well, I think it's only right to get, obviously Shah here said, to be for real though, whenever Havertz is on the pitch, everyone scores other than him. Goals are goals. See, I'm telling you, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I'm ahead of the curve, man. Come on.
Ahead of the curve, but 10 minutes ago, it's like, man was like Nketiah.
yeah. You know what? Yeah, I was drunk on non-alcoholic beer, obviously. You know what I mean? We don't drink alcohol around here. But
Yeah, we're halal people.
I was drunk off non-alcoholic beer. You know, it was crazy. You say some crazy things. The bkhor. I had too much bkhor in my face, man. The bkhor got me buzzing. I was like, what the hell? But
man.
let's go to your score predictions before we round this video off. What's going to be your score prediction for this one?
Saad, I said this before and I'm saying it again. I hate giving 2 score predictions, but I have to because it depends on the lineup. If he starts the lineup we discussed, I think we win that game. We narrowly win it because we're not going to go there and thrash Sevilla. That's never happening. I think we go there and we win 1-0. But if he starts Nketiah up front, or Havertz in the middle, or worst case scenario, both, I don't think we win. I think at best we get a draw. If we're lucky, we get a draw. But I do see us losing that game.
You know, for me as well, like I'm just thinking, yeah. If Arteta dares plays Zinchenko in that game, yeah, I'm just thinking of their right winger. I'm just trying to bring him up. The right winger, the guy that they're playing the right wing, man.
Yeah. What's his name? Luke something.
Luka Bacchio.
Yeah.
Luka Bacchio, that guy is rapid. Bro, he is just going to get in behind constantly. So if we play Zinchenko, it's done. He's just going to get in. And then he's going to be crossing the ball into Al Nassr. And it's going to be crazy. And he cuts in as well. He cuts in and actually... Hey, bro. No, now,
he scored 2 goals for Belgium.
2 goals for Belgium, bro. 2 goals for Belgium. It's not somebody that... Nah, man. Just trust Tomiyasu. Simple. It's simple, man. Just keep it simple. But I'm gonna go. If we play the lineup that we discussed, I think it could be 1-0, maybe 2-0 if we have a good game and we score maybe 1 goal. And we're trying to be obviously wary of them, and then maybe we score a goal later on in the game, maybe like 80th minute or something like that, to just finalize the game for us. If we don't play that lineup and like you said, the other lineups get played and he starts doing stupid shit and putting people in the wrong positions, I don't think we could just lose that game. I think we could be embarrassed. I think
it's
we
possible.
could get embarrassed away on the road, bro. I really think we could get embarrassed.
It's sad. Last season, obviously, we are better than United last season. We're better than United this season. We're a better team. But Sevilla smashed United last season 3-0 in the Europa League. So if we go there and we mess up, we don't start with the correct lineup, we start a bit complacent, and we play the way we played against Lens, 100%. A 2-3-0 win for Sevilla is not like something shocking. Like, it could happen. Like, any Arsenal fan who thinks we're going there and there's no chance of us losing is just deluded, because this is Champions League, bro. And Sevilla have been playing in the Champions League for majority of the last 5-6 years when we haven't been there. So it's huge.
Yeah, no, completely agree, man. I completely agree. And Shah here says 2-1 Arsenal. Jesus, he turns into R9 in the UCL.
Come on, Jesus.
And Martinelli, Jesus Navas is old and slow.
Yeah.
And he said, I have a feeling Sergio Ramos will score a fluke or something. For some reason, I have that feeling as well. I have a feeling that he might score a goal from outside the box or something like that, man. This guy is
or a corner. He's good in corners.
Corner, bro. All go for a corner, man. That's another thing. The danger on corners is something we have to look out for. The set piece coach needs to be coming up with something defensively, because these guys are so dangerous off corners. They have so many tall players in there, so we definitely need to be watching out for that.
And Rakitic can cross as well. So yeah.
Rakitic, he's one of the best in the world in corners. In corners, it's crazy. He may be old, but it doesn't matter whether you're old or not, man. We've learned that from Pirlo, that it doesn't matter how old you are. When you know how to kick a ball, you never lose that.
Players who are good in their long ball passing and all actually get better with age, because that's not a technique that requires you to be sprinting or to have that fitness. Like, that experience is actually what helps with the crosses.
Exactly. The more you do it, it becomes that second nature. You know what I mean? So listen. At the end of the day, I'm gassed to play it, but I'm also wary, man. I'm also not scared, but I'm wary of the team, because I've seen what they can do previously. But just before we end it off, Shah did ask a question here. He said, what are our thoughts on Douglas Luiz to Arsenal links? I'll let you start off first, bro.
I am so annoyed about this because I mentioned this on a space, I think 2 weeks ago or when, and people were laughing and saying, nah, the guy's dead food, dead food. Bro, ever since we were linked with him, even before that, I was watching this guy. He played a couple of games for Brazil. I've been like a huge fan of Brazil and following them since 1998. Like, and I'm telling you, like, this guy is a top quality player. I don't think he should come in and start for us, but as a squad option, imagine if we have Declan Rice, Partey, and Douglas Luiz as the options to play DM centre mid. Like, that's a solid team. The guy is good on the ball. He's good defensively. He can score goals. He can shoot. And I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think he's going to cost us that crazy money. I think like I remember when we were linked with him, like we bid like 30, 35 million. I think they wanted like 40 or something. Although at that time they did say they were not selling him. I think less than 50 million we can get him. Right, and that's a massive upgrade on Jorginho, a massive upgrade on El Neni, obviously. So if we have the chance to get someone like him, 1,000,000%, and he's not even that old, is he? He's like, what is he? 25, 26?
I think he is. Let me just double check for you, bro.
There he is, Douglas Luiz. It's 25.
Oh,
There you go.
25. Wow.
Yeah. Because when we were linked with him, I remember he was 24
young,
at the
man.
time.
He's
still young, bro.
He's still young, man. He's still young.
Premier League experience, playing for an amazing team like Villa that are playing good football.
We saw what he done, and even for him, yeah. Let's say for instance, we use the Chelsea game as an example, yeah.
Yeah.
If you let's say for instance we didn't have Partey now, yeah. If we play Jorginho in that position and then it's not going well for us against Chelsea, yeah, we take Jorginho off, you move Rice into the 6, and you move or you put Douglas Luiz as the 8, bro. That changes the game completely for you, because Rice can do the defensive work and he can cover that, while Douglas Luiz is pushing the ball forward, man. Listen, at the end of the day, bro, I'm all up for bringing Douglas Luiz. I wanted him anyway, man, when we were linked to him. And we were putting in those bids. It's just unfortunate that when we did put in those bids, it was more like a last minute thing, and it was so unorganized from us. There was no organization.
Bro, it was super desperate. We only went for him after El Neni got that injury. Once El Neni got that season-long injury, then we got desperate and we showed our cards and we went to Aston Villa and tried the first and the second and the third time. It was too late then, bro. Aston Villa know, like, they've got, like, unless you give them 60, 70 million, they're not going to sell him at the time, right? Because it was too late in the window and they didn't have time to replace him.
It was in the last 2 hours.
Yeah,
in the last 2 hours. What are Villa supposed to do? Adapt.
It was the last day.
The last 2 hours of the window, because I remember the links came out around 8, 9, and then obviously the first bid happened and the second bid. Bro, like, what are they? If they accept the bid, what are they gonna do for their DM then? Are they just gonna go in without a DM?
And they got Dendoncker at the time from Wolves, but like I don't think they wanted Dendoncker to be a replacement for Luiz. I think they wanted him to start with Luiz. So yeah, for sure. I just read Shaw's comment, like 6 league goals. Does he really have 6 league goals? That's mad.
I've got no idea. You know what?
That's mad for a DM, bro. That's insane.
But he's always been able to get it. Always been able to get them, man. Always. That's crazy.
Yeah. Man. I'm just looking at it. It doesn't mention.
It says here he's got 5.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's still crazy.
But still, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Insane.
For a DM, is crazy. This guy moving like Souček, bro. You know, Souček seems to have like gone down in the radar, bro. I don't know what's going on with him. He's not scoring anymore, man. But
he's been shit.
Yeah.
Ever since Martinelli nutmegged him 2 seasons ago, he's just gone downhill.
Hey, that was cheeky. That
was one of the cleanest nutmegs I've seen. Yeah. Mad. By the way, I just saw it. Even last season, he had 6 goals, 6 assists. That's not bad, man. That's not bad man. In the Premier League as a DM.
Bro. That's what you need. Yeah, 100%. But anyway, listen, we will be ending the stream now. But Ashraf, thank you very much for joining me.
Babe, thank you.
Guys, like I said before, please make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Plenty more content. I will be back tomorrow at 7:45. to do the watch along for this game. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be nuts. And yeah, just keep your eyes out. Make sure you're hitting that bell notification. Make sure you're liking the video. Ashraf, his Twitter will be down below if you want to shoot him a follow on Twitter. Make sure to get him as well. Very good guy, humble guy. And thank you very much, guys. We'll see you on the next video.